All right, welcome to Unit 4, Preparing for Parenting. Our essential question of this unit is, how are a couple's decisions about parenthood related to the way they fulfill their parenting roles and responsibilities? All right, our first unit is Section 1, Deciding about Parenting. After studying this lesson, you're going to be able to analyze motivations for choosing whether or not to become parents, describe aspects of parenting that couples may want to consider before having a child, explain how children affect couples' relationships and how couples' relationships affect children, summarize points couples may want to keep in mind as they plan families. Couples have different motivations for choosing whether or not to become parents. Before deciding about parenthood, couples may want to consider all aspects of parenting. After careful consideration, they can agree on the decision and make their choice by respecting their partner's feelings and needs. The decision to parent is unlike many life decisions in two ways. First, the decision to parent is a permanent choice. Once a child is born, he or she is part of the parent's life forever. A person can choose to change careers, but having a child is different. Once a person is a parent, he or she will always be a parent. Second, a decision not to parent is not permanent. Couples have some time to decide whether to become parents. Young couples have at least 15 safe childbearing years, and that's from ages 20 to 35. The option of adopting a child may increase this time by a few years. Some couples may want to be parents, but might choose to wait until a more appropriate time. Other couples may not be sure about parenthood and will wait to decide. Even couples who decide they never want children can later change their minds. Couples have various reasons for choosing parenthood. Although they may not always be able to explain why, they see children as part of their life. The following are reasons couples often give for wanting to become parents. Some of these reasons are better than others. We want to share our love and time with a child. This is perhaps the most important reason for wanting a child. A couple's desire to share their love and time with a child is the best reason for parenthood. Parents should want a child with no strings attached. If parents hope a child will fulfill other needs or goals, the parent-child relationship may not be healthy. Wouldn't it be nice to have a cute little baby? When some couples see others with babies, they think it would be nice to have a cute little baby themselves. It is good for couples to think positively about babies, but the problem is babies are not always cute. All babies are sick, fussy, and cranky at times and require round-the-clock care. Our parents want grandchildren. Some couples want to fulfill their parents' wishes to be grandparents. Grandparents can give a child much love, but the question is, who is responsible for the care of the child? It is more important for the parents to want and love a child. Our older child needs a brother or sister. When a couple wants a playmate for an older child, they are fulfilling someone else's needs and not their own. Although a child might enjoy having a brother or sister, there are many other ways to meet an only child's need for a playmate. A child can make us proud. Some couples see children as sources of pride. They want children to carry on the family name and customs, inherit the family business or money, or achieve certain goals. It is good for parents to be proud of their children and want them to achieve. They must be careful not to let their hopes suppress their children's goals. Parenthood is not a good choice if a child is wanted only to boost the parent's ego or meet their own unfulfilled goals. A child will comfort us in our old age. Sometimes couples think of children as sources of help in their old age. It is natural for people to think about being helpless or lonely when they grow old. An aging parent, however, cannot always count on a child's help. A child will make us love each other. Some couples hope that having a child will save a failing marriage. Children may enrich family life for stable couples. Unstable couples will find that having children make their problems worse. Some couples plan to be childless permanently. Other couples decide to postpone parenthood, at least for the present. Even couples who consider having children may want to think about how children can change their lives. Here are some good reasons couples often give for not choosing parenthood. Okay, we're not ready for a child. When couples say they're not ready for children, they usually mean they need to mature. They may feel they need more time as a couple for their marriage to mature. They may want to devote more time to their education or their job. Many people want to establish themselves in a career before becoming parents. For example, I took all of my schooling before my husband and I decided to become parents. So I have a master's plus 36, which is the highest I can go besides getting a doctorate, and I'm not doing that. So I did that before I decided to become a parent. A baby costs a lot. Babies are expensive. At one time, a large family was an economic asset because children then helped with work. Today, children cannot contribute a great deal, if anything, to family income. Okay? A child will tie us down, and that's because of child labor laws. A child will tie us down. Unlike many other responsibilities, childcare tasks cannot be put off until later. Parents are always called if children are hurt, ill, or need help. Even with the best babysitters in charge, parents cannot completely forget their roles. A child will interfere with our careers. When tending to both their career and children, parents face two common problems. First, it is difficult for parents to have enough time and energy for both parenting and succeeding at work. Second, it is difficult to find good child care services. Some careers make parenting easier than others. School teachers have hours and vacation times similar to those of their older children. Other careers make parenting more difficult by requiring parents to work long hours or travel frequently. Highly stressful jobs are also difficult for parents. Couples who combine these types of jobs with parenting must plan carefully. Our child could be sick or have a disability. There is no guarantee a child will be in perfect health when they are born. Babies can be born with disabilities or become seriously ill or injured. Good medical care before and after birth reduces but does not eliminate these risks. Children with disabilities or who are ill or injured have special needs beyond those of other children. Many parents feel that raising children with disabilities, however, is highly rewarding. Our marriage could fail, and I don't want to be a single parent. Couples with marital problems may want to solve them before having children. Being a single parent is difficult. Single parents may lack money, help with household and childcare tasks, and the support of a spouse. Without these resources, the single parent cannot always take part in adult activities, which can lead to feelings of isolation. Many single parents, however, can solve such problems. So what do you guys think? Are there some reasons for choosing parenthood that are better than others? Why or why not? Maybe ask your parents, why did they choose to become parents? What was their reasoning? Parenting is both a rewarding and challenging task. Many people invest more money, time, and emotions in their children than they do in any other investment in their lives. Most parents hope their children will inherit all their strengths and avoid their weaknesses. They also hope their children will have opportunities they did not have. Before having a child, a couple must seriously consider all aspects of parenting. The first one is knowledge about parenting. Upon the birth or adoption of a child, a couple instantly becomes parents. Few, if any, other jobs give a beginner such responsibility without any training. Many couples feel they need help in becoming good parents. Experienced family members or friends may help some new parents. Many places offer childcare and parenting classes. Literature on parenting is plentiful, but sources may not always be reliable or accurate. Regardless of age, a person must be biologically capable of conceiving a child, even if they are, regard of that, they may not have the maturity to become a parent. Maturity is having the intellectual and emotional capacity of a healthy, responsible adult. Maturity is different from age. People may be mature for their age, but there's a special type of maturity needed for parenting. Erikson's theory addresses this issue. Erikson felt teens and even young adults are not best suited for parenting. His theory states teens need to explore their sense of independence and develop a sense of self. Young adults need time to find out what is important to them and what sort of person they want to be before entering into a truly committed relationship. To be successful in marriage, the primary focus should not be on the self, but rather on each other as partners. According to Erikson, at some point, mature couples wanted to contribute to the next generation by making their mark in life and making the world a better place. Some adults do this through careers or volunteer work, but many do it through parenting. Parenting at the mature level involves more than procreation, which is producing children. True parenting is not a self-centered activity. It is a way of looking outside of yourself and giving back to society by the way you parent. Another aspect of parenting is relationships. Children are born into a network of people and relationships. They are parented within a couple's relationships and the relationships the couple have with family and friends. Children affect these relationships, and these relationships affect children. Relationships are a two-way street. The couple may want to think about what changes parenthood will bring to their relationships. To prepare for parenthood, couples need to know how children will change their lives. Unlike other relationships, parenting in the beginning is very one-sided. Babies are demanding of the parents' time and other resources. They have no idea their parents are exhausted from round-the-clock care. Parents may even feel their needs go unnoticed by family friends when the focus is on the baby. Parenting during the first few months is quite challenging. Because parenting continues, parents must want to more than to have a baby. They must want and be willing to change along with this baby over many years. Ellen Galinsky, a psychologist, describes how parents develop, and we may talk about that later. Children usually do not strengthen a weak marriage. If a couple has good relationships both outside and inside their marriage, then having a child will enrich their lives. The couple may want to think about how committed they are to each other. They can also determine whether they have the time and energy to give to children. Do they want to share much of their time together with children? Are they doing in their daily lives what they want their children to do? Because children's model parents' behavior. Okay, couples can begin looking at their relationships by asking questions about their feelings for others in order to see how their relationships will affect their children. These kinds of questions relate directly to parenting. Couples can also look at their present relationships with relatives and friends. Good relationships with others are positive for the couple and their possible children. Couples may want to ask themselves some questions about their relationships with others. Some examples of questions include: do our relatives and friends share our basic values? Can we tolerate differences in beliefs? Can we ask for advice and also use our own judgment? Can we tell others about our needs and accept the help they offer? Can we recognize others' needs and offer our help? Can we avoid abusing others' generosity, including time and money? Can we share fun times with others? Couples also need to think about how their relationships with others can affect their children. There are at least 3 advantages to children's relationships with others. First, relatives and friends provide children with their first link to the outside world. Second, grandparents and older relatives can teach children about the past. Third, they may feel relatives and friends care for their children. They feel more rooted to the family. Because each relative and friend is unique, children learn to understand that people are different. They also learn to accept people's unique traits. This interaction will help children get along well with others as they grow. To learn about how the relationships might affect children, couples can ask questions about their feelings for and relationships with others. I already gave you examples of questions about they may ask to learn about their relationships with others, but they may ask to learn about their feelings for others. They can ask, are we loving and sensitive to others' needs? Are we careful not to judge people and their ideas? Can we recognize and respect others' rights? Are we self-disciplined? Do we relate well to others? Are we flexible enough to accept changes? Are we brave about changes and challenges? Can we be honest about our feelings for others? All right, let's talk about Galinsky's parenting stages. The first stage is image making, and this happens before birth. Nurturing occurs between birth and 2 years. Authority is 2 to 4 or 5 years old. Interpretive is 4 or 5 to 12 to 13 years. Interdependent is teen years, and departure is early to teen years, or teen to early adult years. So things parents do in each stage, okay? So the image making stage is before birth. They prepare for changes in their lives. They form images of what their child will be like and what their role as parents will be like. Then in the nurturing stage, they try to balance their baby's needs with their own needs. They provide loving and consistent care for their baby. Okay? The authority stage, they change their role as the family authority figures, and we call this parenting style. They develop their parenting style. They teach their child the rules of behavior through reasonings, rewards, and punishments. The next stage is the interpretive stage from 4 to 5 years old to 12 to 13. During this stage, parents share their knowledge about the world with their child. They interpret other authority figures like teachers and coaches by explaining what they expect. They teach values and morals as the need arises, and they help their child accept social reality. During the interdependent teen years, they cope with their teens' changing needs for closeness and distance. They monitor their teens' behavior and give guidance as needed. They begin to give more freedom with boundaries to their teen. Lastly, we have the departure stage from teen to the early adult years. During this stage, they evaluate themselves as parents and they redefine their relationship as a couple. Okay. And then management of resources is another aspect. Parenting involves management of time, energy, home care, careers, finances, and other resources directly related to children. You might want to consider all of these factors before having a child. Because these factors can change, you may want to examine the factors each time before you add another child to the family. Time and energy are both limited resources, and they are used up very quickly during parenting. Couples considering parenting may want to identify current and future demands on their time. To make time for parenting, couples may need to forego certain activities. Couples may also want to consider the availability of additional help if children make more parenting time than expected, such as with twins or triplets, or children with special needs. Parenting is the most energy-depleting role a person will likely encounter. Without energy, parents cannot effectively take care of their children. Parents' energy is also depleted by other life activities, especially home care and career demands like being a teacher. Couples may want to consider their health, career demands, and current household tasks to determine if they have enough energy to effectively care for a child. Here's hoping. Okay? Home care. Homes are resources for family life. Home is when people prepare meals and eat, sleep, groom, and store many personal possessions. Home is the center of the family's relationships and where extended family members and friends may gather. Because of their many uses, homes require a great deal of care. Home care responsibilities use a lot of time and energy. First, couples may want to consider how they currently share tasks and how they feel about this division of duties. Next, they might want to consider how children might affect how they share responsibilities. If they become parents, will there be major changes in the way they share responsibilities? Can they agree on how to divide home and childcare tasks? How couples choose to divide tasks can depend on each person's needs. If couples plan carefully and try all ideas, they can divide tasks so both partners are satisfied. Careers. Parenting is unlike other careers. Most jobs provide much more training than what new parents receive. Parents probably have studied and trained more for their careers than for their roles as parents. Their job skills may be better than their childcare skills, for which they may have little or no training. In addition to training differences, parenting is a 24/7 career that lasts for 18 or more years. A family's major financial resources come from their careers. They may want to decide whether they will both work or whether one will care for the children at home. The parents' workplaces also help determine the socioeconomic, which is the social and economic level of the family, where they live, possible mobility, the work hours and work days, and possibly the parents' stress levels. And then finances. Couples must realize children cost a lot. Expenses on a child from birth through 17 years of age are over $245,000. Lower income families spend 25% of their before-tax income on a child, while middle income families spend about 16%. Higher income only spend 12%. Of course, the higher the income, the more actual dollars are spent on a child. The figures do not cover any expenses for children beyond high school, such as college or financial help in starting a career. The first year of childbearing is expensive, and expenses grow as the child grows. The direct cost, which is a vocab word, or expenses related to raising a child, include expenditures for clothing, food, housing, childcare, and education and transportation. Other direct costs involve children's extra activities like toys, entertainment, and sports lessons. The first baby is often the most expensive. Additional children may use some of the firstborn's items. Each extra child increases the cost, and typically a second child almost doubles the cost. In addition to direct costs of having a child, there are indirect costs. Indirect costs, a vocab word, are resources parents use to meet child-related costs that could have been used to meet other goals. Some indirect costs of having children include the following. Foregone income, a vocab word, is the potential income given up by a parent who leaves the workforce and stays home to raise a child. Foregone income increases with the salary or wage level. Foregone income can be estimated. Foregone career opportunities. A worker who's out of the workplace for several years may miss promotions and may even need to be retrained before working again. The cost of time out of the workplace is the most difficult indirect cost to calculate. Time spent in childcare. Caring for children on a daily basis, driving them activities, and using personal or sick days to care for a sick child are all indirect costs. Couples think about many factors when they estimate the direct and indirect costs of parenting. Each family is different, and these differences show in the way families spend their money. Carefully planning financial resources is important for everyone. In some ways, financial planning becomes more important when couples think about children. This is because children rely on their parents for financial support for many years. Parents also model for their children either good or poor consumer practices. Couples may want to ask themselves the following questions about finances before they become parents. How do we currently earn and spend our money? Are we satisfied with our budget? Does the budget fit our needs and allow for a few luxuries? Do we have regular savings we could use to meet child-related expenses? If not, can we adjust our budget to meet such expenses? Can we expect more income or lower expenses during the next few years to help offset child-related costs? What type of savings goals do we need for a child? What is an estimate of child-related expenses for the first and next several years? Other resources include couples may also want to consider other resources their children need, like childcare and education programs, schools, parks and recreation activities, health and medical services, youth organizations, community programs, and religious groups. Parents often like to live near these services, which might require a change in housing location or even a change in career. Okay, and then let's briefly talk about family planning. Family planning, a vocab word, involves decisions couples make about whether or not they want to have children and when to have them. Family planning is a couple's personal choice. There are some points couples may want to keep in mind as they plan for families. Couples can consult with a doctor while planning for a family. Doctors may offer information and advice on the following. Okay? Options and birth control methods, which is a vocab word, measures couples use to prevent pregnancy. Okay? The impact their current health might have on a pregnancy, pre-pregnancy preparations like ideal weight, nutritious diet, prenatal vitamins, and lifestyle changings like no smoking or alcohol and less caffeine, And then spacing of pregnancies. As a general rule, doctors say a woman might want to wait 18 to 23 months after delivery to become pregnant again. After consulting with a doctor, the couple may want to think about which birth control method they prefer. This might depend on their religious beliefs and their likes or dislikes of certain methods. Often couples change birth control methods due to side effects, needed changes after childbirth, or when their family is complete. Although doctors can advise about the spacing of children or either whether to have another child, it is the couple's decision. Not all couples feel they can handle another child right away. These feelings depend on their finances, emotional and physical energy, career, age, and lifestyle. Couples should not feel guilty if they want only one child. The best reason for a couple to have another child is to share their love and time with this child too. For couples who want to add to their families, a spacing of about 3 years is advised for developmental reasons. A generous amount of spacing gives parents time to work with each child alone before they need to divide their attention. In addition, less jealousy between children occurs when there is a 3-year age difference. Okay, so some questions to ask about birth control methods is: how does the method work to prevent pregnancy? Does it block the sperm's travel or provide hormones that prevent ovulation? What is the time limit for its recommended use? Like, does it last for 3 months or 1 month? How successful is the method at preventing pregnancy if it's properly used? Is it 99% effective? Is it 80% effective? What is it? What are some directions for using the method? What is the method's possible side effects and risks, including will it make you less fertile in the future? And then what does the method cost? These are all things that you want to consider. All right, guys, this is the end of section 1 of our 4th unit. Thanks.